YouTube, Shukun should be here with a review of the 66Action Ultraman Volume 1, obviously featuring figures 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ultraman, Ultraseven, Ultraman Ginga Strium. That was a weird way of pronouncing it. Strium? I'm gonna go with Strium. An Alien Baltan. I'm not sure. Balltown. I'm gonna go with Balltown because that would be the Japanese way of pronouncing it. So, anyway, this set was released in January 2014, hot off the coattails of the 4th volume of the Kamen Riders series of 66 Actions. And as you can see, they use these same stands. And as with always with a 66 Action, each one is 66 millimeters tall. That's a 66 Action, and retail for about 500 yen a piece at local Japanese anywheres. You can pick these up at most online stores either individually or as a complete box of 10. And Ultraman Volume 2 has just released, so the Ultraman line is continuing unlike the Dragon Ball line. So we'll see how far the Ultraman line goes. But they are pretty neat little figures. So let's go ahead and start with Ultraman and work our way towards... Yep, that's actually a word. Balltown. And here is our little Ultraman. He is all sorts of little adorbs. Ultraman is still something that is kind of foreign to me. I watched bits of Ginga, and then Ginga like stopped being subbed, and then Ginga S was like barely subbed. And I haven't had a chance to check out much of anything other than one of the Zero movies. So Ultraman is still very much a foreign thing to me, so if I don't know the ins and outs of the Ultra series, I do very much apologize, but I did get a lot of demand to eventually do this because people saw that I picked them up, and so here I am reviewing them, even though I don't really know a whole lot of what is what. So, we'll stick to the basics here. Here is the original Ultraman, very, very, very much iconic to both people in Japan and in the US. Ultraman is just one of those things that if you're a fan of superheroes, you basically know who he is and you can recognize him right away. And this is the original design that most people know when you talk about Ultraman. So unlike the Kamen Rider series, which has a lot of armor and flares and weapons, the Ultra series is obviously going to be very, very much simplified. All the Ultramen are basically just a singular suit and a helmet. Nothing too fancy on here. And being the original, he is super simplified, but that doesn't make him a bad figure by any means. In terms of articulation, you have all the main 66 action points. Ball and socket joints almost everywhere. You got it on the head, the shoulders, as I pull his hand out on accident, because that keeps happening to me. Thigh and the foot with single joints at the elbow and the knee. So a nice little articulated figure for the original Ultraman. So if you're a fan of that era, or just Ultraman in general, this is definitely worth taking a look at for sure. Unfortunately, they come with the Kamen Rider Volume 4 level of stands that I'm just not a fan of. I don't like these hands sticking out of the sides of these stands here. If you didn't check out the 66 Action Kamen Rider Volume 4 review, basically what Bandai did was just, we're going to produce this one singular piece that has 2 slots for stands, and we'll give you 2 of them so that you can plug them together and make a stand, which is like, oh, hey, cool. And then you go to store the hands, and they're just kind of like dangling off the side here, all willy-nilly, and it looks really bad, which is a shame because these are kind of the most functional stands of the 66 Action line. It'll help them stand normally at a normal standing height, and then you can lean them back to an extent and do some aerial poses as well. So I think they're the most functional of the stands. It's just unfortunate that they kind of just went the cheaper route, and now you have hands sticking out. So if you do want to use these for display, I do urge you to keep the hands somewhere else. But included with Ultraman here is 4 additional hands. You have 2 for his attacks, his little beam hand attacks, and we'll go ahead and do that. And then 2 normal, you'll see these hands a lot in the 66 Action line, just normal splayed open hands that you can get him in a pose as well. But we're going to go ahead and do the iconic posing for his attack. So you just pop those out, slide those in, and kind of bring this across, and something along the lines of that. Unfortunately, we don't have any cool beam effects or anything like that, but you can get the normal beam attack going pretty well. So a nice little rendition of Ultraman. Right off of the original Ultraman is the second series, Ultraseven, and here is his main design. The first one to kind of jump head first into the red suit, silver accents as opposed to the more silver of the original Ultraman. Plus he's got little bits of armor on him, so it was a bit of a drastic design change, in my opinion, looking at the old Ultraman jumping from the original to Ultraseven. But that is just me. It's a cool little figure for sure. It captures his really basic but iconic design pretty well. And I think one of the coolest features is something I'm going to show off in a minute. I keep kind of fiddling with it right now. But included with him are 2 hands to hold said feature, or at least attempt to hold said feature right here, and then 2 hands to activate his beam on his forehead. So, he spoiled the feature. The crest on his head pops off, and he kind of flings it like a boomerang sort of thing. And that is actually represented here by the ability to remove it, and then he can wield these hands and kind of hold it. There's nothing in here that's really kind of gripping it all that well, so you're going to kind of have to rest it in place. But you can kind of get it to hold him like that, sort of. That's still not in there very tight, but you get what I mean. So it's cool that they still have that feature available in such a small figure with the ability to pop off the head crest and use it as a weapon. So that is cool. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it on him. It does like to come off. It doesn't particularly plug into these top ports all that well. Mostly because there really just isn't enough clearance there. It's more or less just for design. So you might have some problems with it popping out here or there, but other than that, you're pretty good. And if we pop off these hands, we'll go ahead. Yep, that's an English word right there. Go get. Go gag him. Yep. And so you can move his hands around and then have his little head crest fall off, because that's just what happens. Position them kind of right. Put his head crest back on, because then he just looks bald. And there you go. So he's doing his beam attack. So again, a really cool little figure. And here is Ultraman Ginga Strium. I said it weird again. I'm going to go with Strium. From Ultraman Ginga S. So he was Ultraman Ginga and Ultraman Ginga, obviously. And then when Ultraman Ginga S started, he got the power up with the Strium brace right here that let him transform into Ultraman Ginga Strium. It's a cool design. It captures a lot of what Ginga was, and then adds some bits of armor and stuff here or there, and changes it up a little bit. Gives him a little bit more silver. And you got a cool little design there. It's unfortunate that even with the second set, I don't think they made Victory yet. His basically second rider, so to speak, in Ultraman Ginga S. But especially with Ultra Fight Victory going on right now, you'd think that Victory would be in the second set. Maybe he is, and I'm just delusional. But it's a nice little figure, and I'm glad to have a Ginga representation so early, just because that's the one I'm most familiar with. I really do hope a 01 comes out, because that's the one I'm second most familiar with. And I'm sure in a Volume 3 or something we'll see X, which looks really cool in my opinion, but that's a topic for another day. So you do have the brace down here, and a pretty cool looking design. All in all, there's no hidden features like with Ultraseven or anything like that. But included with him are 2 splayed open hands right here, and then the 2 beam attack karate chop hands. So pretty much the same lineup as, in fact, I think they're the same exact hands as the original Ultraman. But we're going to go ahead and do the beam attack for him as well, since we did the beam attacks for the other ones. His is basically the same beam attack as Ultraman, except instead of the other one, he uses a fist, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and leave him just like that. But if you're a fan of Ginga, or actually did manage to watch Ginga S, and like the design, it's definitely a cute little figure to take a look at. I don't really have any problems with him whatsoever. except for him falling, apparently. And Balltown here is our first one to be released. There is one in the second set as well, but I forgot which one it was off the top of my head. But Balltown's really interesting, the fact that he doesn't have hands. Balltown is a kaiju with claws. So instead of having hands, you have these little claw socket things that just kind of go over the joint. There's a little hole inside of there that goes right on the hand joint here, and it's supposed to lock in place. Some of them don't. I think they have different sizes, and if you put them on the wrong one, then it doesn't work right, and it's really weird, but for the most part it works. I mean, they're not going to fall off randomly or anything like that. Articulation-wise, his head still gets a pretty good range of articulation. It can't really move all the way around, but considering how bulky his headpiece is, it definitely still works quite well. But everything else is the same level of 66 action articulation. So not that bad at all. He does come with 2 additional claws. These ones are kind of more open attack claws, which are the ones I'm going to go ahead and put on him because attacking is cool. I believe this is the right one, and then we'll try this one over here. There we go. These ones hold in quite a bit better than the other ones did. So he's got his claws open and ready for attack. So that is really cool. Rider hasn't really done a whole lot of villains. Machine Chaser and I guess maybe Kamen Rider Eternal you could use. But it's really cool that the Ultra series is putting an emphasis on at least including one kaiju in every set. At least with the 2 released thus far. To give him something to fight. I mean, it's not a whole lot. It's not like a 2-2 split or anything like that, but it is cool that they're going to put some emphasis on some of the more humanoid kaiju that they can release. So having Balltown here as the first one is definitely really cool. He's a neat little design, and he falls over too. So overall, despite being a general noob to the Ultra series, I do really like the 66 Action Ultraman series thus far. Like I said, I forgot what is in Volume 2, but it does look pretty cool, and I am excited for its release. And I am excited for Ultraman X coming up soon. I hope, like Ultra Fight Victory, it gets some official subs up on the YouTube channel, which will always be really cool to watch directly from there. But yeah, these are pretty neat. If you're a fan of the Ultra series, I definitely recommend taking a look at these. At 500 yen a piece, you really can't go wrong. They're affordable, easy to collect, and you can get some pretty cool poses off of these guys as well. So if you're a fan of any of these characters or just an Ultra series fan in general, I definitely recommend taking a look at them. So thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.